pursuit that started out of Fullerton here just a few minutes ago, and it traveled eastbound along the 91 and southbound on the Harbor Freeway. It went all the way down to San Pedro. We understand these suspects, or this suspect, I should say, is a robbery suspect, a bank robbery suspect. We understand, as you said, some money was being thrown out the window here. We have not seen that. We've only arrived on scene in the past 30 seconds to a minute here, but they are traveling northbound on the 110 freeway, just passing through Gardena here. This black Suburban, or this dark-colored Suburban. Several police vehicles in trail of this guy, but as we come up to El Segundo here, I'm going to have to hand it over to you so I can talk to the towers here. I'll be right back with you.
Sure. So again, what we're looking at here, this started 91 westbound in Buena Park. Then they went down into surface streets of San Pedro. Last spotted northbound 110 around 405, and now continuing. This was a bank robbery in Fullerton, and it is believed that the suspect or suspects inside are armed. You don't often hear about them allegedly throwing cash outside the window.
No, this is something that you don't often see, but that's what we were hearing, reports that they were actually possibly bank robbery suspects out of Fullerton, and then as police were chasing them, they're actually throwing some of the money out of the window.
You know, Layla, it's hard to know if there's any discernible pattern to what he's doing here. You know, we just picked this up about 2 minutes ago, and so from what we understood, he was down in San Pedro. He was off the 110 freeway, off at Gaffey, for those of you who know the area here, but he immediately kind of turned around and jumped back on the 110 freeway here, all the way up to, well, past Gardena and up towards Hawthorne here, where he is now westbound on El Segundo. So this is actually the first time we've seen him on surface streets. So we don't know if there's any discernible pattern, if this is an area that he's familiar with. I don't believe so because, well, just because of the fact that this pursuit actually initiated out of Fullerton as a bank robbery here. And so, you know, we're, you know, several miles away from that location. Although, you know, somewhat close to the 91, we are now westbound, just coming up to the...
At this point, we do believe whoever is in this car is armed and dangerous. We don't know how many people. As you can see, those windows are smoked out. You can't tell. There could be several people in the back seat. We do not know.
Oh, wrong way now.
And this, again, a pattern
keeps
where
cutting those corners.
Continues to go through red lights, continues to drive into oncoming traffic. Police trying to give him some space, but obviously not wanting him to get away right now. We haven't seen any pit maneuvers yet. We haven't seen any spike strips laid down yet. Police have to be very careful because what we're hearing, okay,
oh boy,
what's going on right here looks like just
right
drove
over the median, now
the median.
In the wrong way there at 138th and back up into the correct direction, so you avoided the... It's one way around the lights. Oh, no, exactly where he is. Okay, right by the Baskin-Robbins there right now.
We're just getting back on the 105 freeway, Chris. He was just northbound on. We were just northbound on Crenshaw. Made a westbound turn on 120th and picked up the 105 freeway. Now going eastbound from Crenshaw and heading over towards, say, the 110 freeway in a couple of miles there. So we'll see what he does. But traveling at an extremely high rate of speed. It looks like he's picked up the HOV lane there with several police vehicles in tow. But again, eastbound on the 105, just passing Crenshaw, coming up to Western now, Chris. Hey, Chris. Yeah, you know what? This guy eastbound on the 105 driving very erratically. He's just gotten off at, well, just essentially the 605 here. Now he's turned north, and we'll kind of see what he does here as he makes his way under the 605 freeway here, and there he goes. He's going to be making his way over to the west or to the east side of the freeway there, and it looks like he's going to take this to the streets once again. So we're going to make it over to the other side here, and we'll see if we can kind of pick up a shot here. Looks like he's going to be behind some trees for just a few seconds here. So let me maneuver. Oh, there he goes. Okay, he's coming back in, and he's going to be probably turning northbound here to the left.
And looks like they're driving through some kind of office parking lot area. We see a lot of parked cars here right now. But once you get out on these surface streets, it makes it even more dangerous. You have pedestrians walking around. Very soon, kids getting out of school. Right now, this driver looks like possibly getting back on the highway. Is that correct, Mark?
Yeah, it looks like he's. It looks to us like he's making his way back onto the 105 freeway westbound, and so here we go. We'll be making our way through, well, Downey and back towards the 710 freeway. Now, when we picked this up a few minutes ago on the 105, when he was just getting on in Hawthorne, he traveled through Hawthorne, through Willowbrook, through Linwood, and made his way all the way through Bellflower and over to the 605. And now he's just kind of reverse course here. I was kind of thinking that he might be heading back towards familiar area, possibly Fullerton, where the crime occurred. But here he is back westbound on the 105. and he'll be coming again through Bellflower here.
It is 2:07 right now. For those of you who are just tuning in, let's get you up to speed here right now. We are following a high-speed pursuit that started off in Fullerton over an hour ago, believed to be a suspect who just robbed a bank in Fullerton, and now we're hearing that it is possibly the triple threat bandit, that this is someone who, this is the first time we've seen them stop.
What's going to happen?
Okay, let's see what he does here. He's at the end of the off-ramp at
Officers
Prairie.
didn't have much time to make a decision, but he stopped. He had to stop because of traffic, and now he stopped. Guns have been pulled. We'll likely back up at this point and zoom out just a bit. There is another vehicle in that far left lane. K-9 officer there as well.
We see CHP units continuing to come on in.
Shotguns and handguns. We know there's a driver. We don't know if there's anyone in the passenger seat. We don't know if there's anyone in the back.
Police have to be so careful. We believe the suspect is armed and dangerous. It looks like the driver's side door is open.
Yep.
Some hands out of the car.
Hands are up. Both up.
One person out of the vehicle. They're telling him now to walk backwards, it appears.
Well, he's doing the right thing so far. Obeying commands. Back to the officers, both arms up. He stepped away from the vehicle slightly. They still got handguns and shotguns drawn, and the K-9 officers
units
there as
out
well.
there as well. Looks like he is. They're telling him to pull up his shirt to make sure he doesn't have any weapons. Now
do a
they're
360.
having
he
him turn
exposed his
around.
waistline to show he didn't have any weapons on him.
Police have to be so careful. They don't know if there's anyone else inside the car.
And they're covered on all sides. You can see the officers covering the right-hand side of the vehicle as he is now fully stepped away from the car. And they just brought over a shotgun to handle the right-hand side of the vehicle. Not clear if that's an indication they think there's someone in there or not.
First, he went to put his hands behind his back. Then they told him, no, put them behind your head. He is following commands right now.
Step backwards, get on your knees, and face down before they're gonna put the cuffs on there.
As we watch, we know that this man was responsible for at least one bank robbery today, possibly more. This could be the triple threat bandit that Fullerton police have been looking for. 1 month ago, there was a man who robbed 3 banks within 2 hours. Possibly this is the man that they have been looking for.
No way to tell from this distance, but he is a larger guy. He does fit the description to some extent. But
now officers with guns pointing are moving in to see if there's anyone else in this Suburban. Opening up the passenger side door, giving the all clear there. You've got to think about the adrenaline right now rushing through these officers who have been pursuing this man, knowing that he was most likely armed and dangerous.
Getting the cuffs on the suspect here. This began this morning in Fullerton at the Banco Popular. If this indeed is the triple threat bank robber, that would be his 4th bank that we know of. Federal authorities also searching for that suspect as well. And we'll find out likely later on this evening if this indeed is the triple threat robber. If so, he would have successfully robbed 4 banks with a crew of 1.
At this point, it does appear that there was no one else in that Suburban with him.
All right, cuffs are on, and they'll be getting him up here. Well, as far as high-speed pursuits and chases go, good ending. No one hurt, no major traffic situation caused by this, and a suspect in custody in about an hour's time.